Welcome to Evolve Every Day. Today, we're diving deep into some profound life lessons designed to help you become your best self. This isn't just surface-level stuff. We're going to explore the intricate nature of humanity and uncover truths that will absolutely transform your mindset. Stick with us until the very end, because trust me, there are some incredible insights waiting for you. There are only two things in this world that we can't look directly at. First, the sun, because it's simply too blinding, and second, human nature, because it's just too unpredictable. If I told you that society can't handle a true, unvarnished play, and that people can't bear a thorough exposé of their own nature, would you believe me? Just take a look at the comments on the videos I share about human nature, and you'll understand exactly what I mean. I know your life is busy, and what I'm about to share isn't always easy to digest, let alone master. If you're only listening once, my advice is to watch until the very end, and then listen again and again whenever you have a moment, perhaps while you're doing chores or just relaxing. Share this video and save it to a playlist for easy access. I guarantee that in just a few short months, your mindset will evolve leaps and bounds, reaching an entirely new level. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Evolve Every Day. Today, we're going to continue dissecting just how complex human nature truly is. These are the most authentic conclusions I've come to, so those with more life experience will find them particularly valuable. If you don't fully grasp everything right away, that's perfectly fine. Just extract what's useful and apply it to your own life. They say heaven is beautiful, but no one is in a hurry to get there. They say money is the root of all evil, yet everyone is striving to earn it. They say a beautiful woman is a source of trouble, yet everyone desires one. They say it's lonely at the top, yet everyone wants to climb there. That, my friends, is human nature. What exactly is human nature? It's hating when you have something, laughing when you don't. It's looking down on you when you're poor and fearing you when you're rich. Lawyers hope you get sued. Doctors hope you get sick. Mechanics hope your car breaks down. Only a thief hopes you're always prosperous and wealthy. The first time people meet, they immediately begin assessing the other person's status and value, then decide whether they will bow down to them or make them bow down. When you fail, there will always be a crowd of people asking what happened, feigning concern, only to leave satisfied. Most people want you to do well, but only on the condition that you don't do better than them. As long as it doesn't affect your own interests, you don't need to argue with what others say. As long as you're not personally attacked, you don't need to care about their opinions. The more you fear, the more people will bully you. When you fear nothing, ironically, no one dares to bully you. If you are too kind, everyone will take advantage of you. When you become a little tougher, they might even start flattering you. From ancient times, true affection couldn't be maintained. Only a calculating heart truly understood others. Gradually, you'll realize that a good heart never quite measures up to a clever tongue. Relationships between people are like knitting. Building them stitch by careful stitch takes time, but unraveling them just takes one gentle pull. Don't easily confide your struggles, because while some might offer comfort to your face, behind your back, they'll turn your pain into gossip. Friends might wish you well, but only if you don't do better than them. Your own failures are certainly dreadful, but a friend's success can be even more heartbreaking. A beggar won't envy a millionaire, but they will definitely envy another beggar who earns more than them. People allow strangers to be rich, but they can't stand it when those close to them prosper. The greatest pain in life is witnessing those around you soar and achieve success. We'd rather see a stranger succeed than endure the success of someone close to us. We admire those far away who achieve greatness, but we resent those nearby who do the same. We respect those who are a little stronger than us, but we envy those who are just slightly better. When people eat meat, they praise its flavor. When washing dishes, they complain about them being dirty. When hungry, they'll pick any disliked dish. When lonely, they'll choose someone they don't love. This is what we call hunger doesn't pick food, cold doesn't pick clothes, panic doesn't pick a path, poverty doesn't pick a spouse. Why did beautiful women often die young in the past? Because no one cares how long an unattractive person lives. If you give someone $1 every day, the moment you stop, they will resent you. But if you slap them every day, the moment you stop, they will thank you. Kind people often feel as if they've done something wrong when they refuse others. There are some people you help 7 parts and they still think you owe them 3. Spouses haven't truly seen each other's nature until they face divorce. Siblings haven't truly seen each other's fake hearts until money is involved. Children haven't truly shown filial piety until a parent is on their sickbed. Friends haven't truly revealed their nature until their interests clash. Parents who appear strong often raise weak and insecure children. Conversely, gentle, quiet parents often raise children with strong inner spirits. Introverted, sensitive people are often very loyal. Once they trust, they hold firm. Extroverted, lively people, while easy to get along with, are often cold inside and are usually the first to withdraw in crucial moments. The closer people get to home, the worse they treat their family, yet they try to appear good to outsiders. Such people are not only insecure, but also weak. Otherwise, they wouldn't get angry, argue, and bully their family members every time they come home. A person with a mental illness is very easy to spot, but a group of people with mental illnesses is very difficult to detect. The first person to point out something unusual will often be considered insane. Most people can't see their own problems, but they have a mouth that loves to judge others. People both look down on each other and flatter each other. Everyone wants to be superior to others, but they're willing to bow down to others. Modern people live in an illusion. They think they know what they want, but in reality, what they want is just what others want them to want. Most people don't truly crave freedom because freedom comes with responsibility, and most people are afraid of responsibility. People can withstand attacks from others, but can't handle compliments. So remember to learn how to compliment others. It will help you avoid making enemies. High emotional intelligence is when you lie and the other person clearly understands but still happily accepts it. Low emotional intelligence is the opposite. Even if you tell the truth, you still have to apologize to them. The greatest ugliness of human nature is to be selfish oneself but demand generosity from others, always wanting others to be saints while secretly acting like scoundrels. You might think that the people you've helped would at least show some sympathy when you're in trouble, but in reality, those are often the very people who are ready to add fuel to the fire. The truth teller must always be cautious like a petty person, while the liar always appears righteous like a gentleman. When you have no money, be a good person. Before you have money, then do good deeds. Unfortunately, most people do the opposite. When they have no money, they don't consider themselves human, and when they have money, they don't take anything seriously. If one day you feel that everyone around you is being fake, don't worry, don't be scared. It just means you've grown up, and there's nothing surprising about it. Many weak people are also evil, but because they are weak, their evil lacks destructive power. But once these people turn the tables, they often become much more cruel. Many honest people can also be bad, but because they are inexperienced, they live timidly. However, once they gain support, they immediately become shameless and insatiably greedy. Many bosses often tell their employees, "You guys do a good job. We're doing something beneficial for society. When the company succeeds, we definitely won't forget you." But in reality, either the boss goes bankrupt midway, or when the company grows big, they'll kick out the people who once shared hardships. Many guys tell a girl, "I really like you. Even though I don't have money now, I'll work hard to earn it. When I'm rich, I'll repay you double." But in reality, either that guy isn't capable of great things, or when he gets rich, he'll abandon the hardworking wife by his side. Therefore, people who always like to talk about morals and emotions often use this standard to bind others while secretly pursuing their personal interests. Talking about money will train people to become wolves, but talking about feelings will turn people into ingrates. Relationships sustained by money, if prolonged, will eventually often develop feelings. But relationships that begin with feelings often easily fall apart due to interests and ultimately lead to mutual resentment. Complimenting others is always the right thing to do, especially when you don't know what to say or don't want to say anything. Just compliment them. This will avoid unnecessary trouble. Pretending to be dumb is always the right thing to do, especially when you've understood everything. The clearer you understand, the more you need to pretend to be dumb. When you don't understand, just wait in silence. Can money make people evil? Actually, money doesn't make people worse or better, it just reveals their true selves. Money is like power. It's the magnifying glass of human nature. It will amplify your true self many times over, helping you live closer to your true nature. When people are poor, they don't have the opportunity to express arrogance and shamelessness, nor do they have the ability to demonstrate their generosity and kindness. When people have money, traits like vanity, greed, arrogance, selfishness, and desire will be amplified. At the same time, generosity, kindness, courage, filial piety, and dedication will also be magnified accordingly. Money makes the noble nobler, the base baser. Money makes the profound more profound, and the shallow even shallower. The best way to comfort someone is to tell them, "I'm actually worse off than you are." Never just offer empty platitudes, because that only makes the other person feel even more pathetic. That's just human nature. I can fail, but I can't admit I failed. I need to see that everyone else is failing too, and then I'll feel at ease. Turns out, there are so many people in this world who are worse off than me. What do I have to be sad about then? I should secretly feel lucky, actually. In short, not everyone who fails deserves pity and empathy. Not everyone who fails is ready to face the truth. They'd rather deceive themselves and live in self-comfort. The happiness of the majority of people doesn't come from self-awareness, but from living better than those around them, from a feeling of superiority. And the suffering of most people isn't because they are ordinary or poor, but because they see those around them succeeding more than they are. No matter how rich and carefree a person is, if all their friends are doing better, their sense of happiness won't be high. But no matter how ordinary and simple a person is, if their friends aren't as well off as them, their sense of happiness won't be low. In human nature, there's a self-protective mechanism for our ego when interacting with the outside world, especially when we encounter things beyond our expectations. We feel panicked and confused. At that moment, our brains will gather every clue to prove that someone else's success is just luck. If I had the same objective conditions, I would definitely be better than them. For example, when we were in school, we often talked about how good students were just bookworms and pretty girls usually weren't smart. As adults, this translates to a colleague getting promoted because they flattered the boss, or a classmate succeeding in business because their family provided massive financial backing. To avoid confronting the success of those around us, we prefer to drag them down, to trample on their aura, to satisfy our psychological needs. This feeling can even bring more joy than achieving something ourselves. We always like to think of excellent and successful people in the most negative way. Only then do we feel at ease. It's as if only then can we prove that our mediocrity isn't solitary, and we can find reasons to justify our own failures and ordinary lives. People would rather prove the mediocrity of others than confront their own. This is the limit for most people, and it's also how they implicitly admit their helplessness. As someone once said, all human suffering is basically due to anger at one's own powerlessness. The most understanding people are often the least cared for. Those with gentle personalities are often the easiest to bully. Those who understand others are often the easiest to be wronged. Conversely, those who cry, refuse, and turn their backs are often the ones no one dares to touch. The tougher and more unreasonable you are, the more people will try to curry favor with you. Guys with bad boy characteristics who appear charming and uncaring are actually lacking in love. And girls who are easily attracted to bad boys have largely suffered family trauma and are so starved for affection that just a little bait from a bad boy can pull them in. Human eyes are parallel, yet they don't see people fairly. And human ears are on both sides, yet they prefer to hear one-sided stories. Each individual, when alone, is rational and intelligent. But when they gather, they become blind and irrational, becoming an unorganized crowd easily swayed by the herd effect. In a society where everyone observes each other, what is called right is simply conformity with others. Every act of arrogance, of being superior to others, secretly hides an inferiority complex that needs to be concealed. Concessions often lead to being taken advantage of. Don't expect them to bring respect or compassion from others. People have 1,000 faces, and their minds change 1,000 times. What you know doesn't need to be fully spoken, and what you hear doesn't need to be fully believed. In this cold society, you never know who is playing what game with whom. What's scary about devils? Look at the hearts of the people around you. They're all talented actors. Everyone has an unpredictably changing face. Today you're sincere with someone, tomorrow you'll suffer from regret. Most people can't see their own problems but love to lecture others. People hold on to selfishness but always demand generosity from others. Life is like playing Super Mario. If you haven't eaten a mushroom to grow up, even a small turtle can kill you instantly. Falling into the trap of constantly pleasing others is a slow, agonizing form of self-sabotage. Kindness may be free, but it should never be cheap. Giving without any expectation ultimately only leads to profound disappointment. Never be unconditionally good to anyone, no matter how much love you feel for them. Over time, they'll grow accustomed to it, eventually taking your generosity completely for granted. Unreciprocated enthusiasm needs to be reined in, right when it feels most intense. Because honestly, that kind of dedication only ends up moving you and no one else. Those who brag the loudest are often the most insecure. The ones who chase many loves are frequently starved for true affection. And the people who appear the most glamorous on the outside are, more often than not, the most fragile at heart. In this world, true pride isn't about how many people you know when you're shining bright. It's about how many still remember you when you've hit rock bottom. Sharing your joys with the wrong person can quickly turn into boasting. And sharing your sorrows with the wrong person, that just becomes whining. Sometimes reality has to slap you across the face, hard, for you to truly understand just how fake society can be. The people you once thought were your friends might hurt you so deeply that you have nothing left. That's when you finally grasp the terrifying nature of the human heart. Never blame others for not helping you, and don't fault them for not caring. In this life, we are all independent beings. Suffering and hardship are burdens we must carry ourselves. No one can truly understand your pain. If a stone doesn't fall on their own foot, they'll never truly feel the sting. Everything needs its limits. Kindness without boundaries is foolishness. Excessive yielding is simply weakness. If you're too forgiving and lenient in every situation, people won't appreciate you. They'll simply take advantage. Being overly kind is, in a way, a form of naivete. Most human happiness seems to come from living just a little bit better than those around them. Conversely, the majority of human suffering stems from seeing others succeed more than they have. People often love to criticize those who are outstanding, dismissing their success as pure luck or ill-gotten gains. It's almost as if, by doing so, they can validate their own mediocrity and find an excuse for their own lack of achievement. No matter how you choose to live your life, there will always be someone talking about you behind your back. Don't feel the need to justify yourself. Don't compare. Just smile and let it go. That, my friends, is the most powerful form of dismissal. Many initial encounters can feel like meeting a kindred spirit, only for a reunion to reveal a complete stranger. You can treat someone incredibly well, but they might not even remember it. However, if you hurt them, they could carry that memory for a lifetime. There's no need to beg for kindness from others, but please try not to cause trouble for anyone either. Those who hold on to hope will always find light in every corner, but those with dark souls will forever see only shadows around them. Most of the time, how people perceive the world truly depends on who they are inside. Anger is punishing yourself for someone else's mistake. Sadness is tormenting yourself with the ghosts of the past. Worry is scaring yourself with the unknown risks of the future. When you face hardship, that's when you find out who your real friends are. When success comes knocking, that's when you'll find friends recognizing you. In your happiest and most painful moments, you'll come to truly understand yourself. And through all of life's ups and downs, you'll finally see who your genuine companions are. That's just human nature. Society often can't stand a genuine portrayal, and people certainly can't tolerate a thorough, unvarnished exposure of their true selves. I suddenly understood a quote from the brilliant writer Lu Xun from A Madman's Diary. It said something like, "I turned the pages of history, and nowhere on any page could I find an era where humanity, righteousness, and morality were truly upheld or consistently written." Now I finally get it. When I read Lu Xun's words as a child, I didn't understand, but reading them again as an adult, all I could do was weep. And that brings us to the end of our journey today, exploring these profound life lessons. If any of these thoughts resonated with you, please consider giving this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to Evolve every day for more insights and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Sharing this video with someone who might need to hear these words would mean the world to us. And I'd love to hear your own reflections and experiences in the comments below. What lessons have you learned that truly shaped you? Let's keep evolving every day.